Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Laurie. If you happen to be new here, welcome, welcome. I hope you find something that resonates and you come back in the future. I am going to do an all signs reading, so this is for the whole tarot collective. Anybody who resonates with a message. If you were called here and you clicked on this, you were meant to hear this message. And I want to say thank you for being here to each and every one of you. I appreciate your time and your energy. I'm going to open this reading with a Queen of the Moon Oracle message. So let's go ahead and see what you have today. Change is upon you. This is an internal change for most of you. This is card 35. This is the Thunder Moon. Now, what I'm hearing is this could be in response to a difficult situation that you have been dealing with and you are done. Doom! I'm hearing like doors slamming, thunder clapping. I just heard glass shatter, but more like like a dropped glass. This is it. A dropped mic, like this is it. This is final. It's over. It's done with. There's a change within you. And this feels maybe a little overpowering, a little overwhelming, right? As you first experience this, but it brings a sense of peace. So you're electrified, you're pumped up, you're adrenalined up, and then all of a sudden, once you acknowledge that you're ready for this change, boom, it just comes in and brings so much peace and calm. So this could have come, I'm feeling like there was an argument with a loved one, whatever loved one, but it wasn't today, okay? This feels like maybe a week ago that you had this argument, this fight, and at that time you were really pumped up, and then in the meantime, since that disagreement, since that situation, you've kind of been riled up. You haven't been able to sleep. Your energy is off. You're feeling a little tense. You're snarky with yourself, okay? Not even, like, I think you may be even keeping to yourself. But what I'm getting here is like all of a sudden, you open up the fridge to get a glass of water or get something to drink or eat, and it hits you. And you're just like, why have I been fighting to hang on to this? I don't want this. This isn't even good for me. Spirit was able to get through to you, will be able to get through to you in this moment. And you know what it was? It's like you were not focused on that situation, that argument, that disagreement, that's whatever at all when you opened up that fridge and were looking for something to eat. You literally had nothing on your mind other than searching for something to drink or eat. You weren't even trying to figure out what to do for dinner. You were just literally opening yourself up to the moment. And that brought that, it's going to bring this epiphany of, I don't need this. I don't want this. And now I'm peaceful. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to feel like that. I didn't want that job anyways. Why was I fighting for this so hard? All right, interesting energy going on here. All right, we may revisit this. All right, there's something unexpected coming to you. We may revisit this oracle deck at the end of this reading. So stick around if that really resonated with you. All right, I'm using the Heavenly Bloom tarot deck here. I do not currently have a working shop or links or anything, so if you do see something and you do purchase through there, I'm probably not going to get anything for it. I'm just letting people know because I know they ask me later what deck I'm using, and I have no clue. So this is the Heavenly Bloom tarot deck. Let's go ahead and see what the tarot message is that goes with this change. Let's see what we can find out here. Two of Swords. You're at a crossroads at this time. Okay, this change, this energy comes in first. And it brings a sense of peace and a sense of, I'm getting like, I started to say adventure, but it's not even like high energy. It's more like, let's see where this goes. I think I'm just going to surrender here, and I'm going to let the winds of fate give me inspiration. I don't want to control anything. Obviously, I was fighting for something that I don't even want. Maybe I need to just kind of surrender here and let spirit guide me. This is beautiful energy. It's peaceful. It's exciting in the sense that you're going into the unknown and you're not afraid of it. You're welcoming whatever might come towards you because you know that you've been clinging to something that literally you really didn't even want. So you're opening yourself up here to allowing spirit, the universe, the collective to bring you something that you do want. And that is what will happen when you surrender that way. When you say into the unknown, which was on the bottom of the deck. I guess I'm putting that out there. Yep. Oh no, oh my gosh, I just got a vision from the other book. But it's the unexpected. You don't know what's coming. Look, that was on the bottom of this deck. Into the unknown. All right, so, and that's a 7 card. And this is a 7 card, 43. This is a blue moon. So I'm also hearing that this is not your normal MO to be like this. You're more like, okay, I'm a type A personality. I know what I want. I know what I want to go after. And I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to keep fighting for what I know is right. I know what's, fair and balanced and mine and just. Whew. I think you're tired at this point. I think you have exhausted yourself by maybe just giving too much and feeling like you had to do everything on your own. This Two of Swords is ultimate surrender, peaceful, and trusting your intuition, trusting your higher power to just put you where you'll feel connected, where you will feel right. All right, let's see what else is going to come out here for you. This is actually a very intriguing message for me to be giving to you. I want to see where this actually is leading. Five of Swords, surrender, see? Okay, somebody's ego. And your ego is just the part of you that wants to control things, that wants to keep things the way they are, to keep going, and keep what you have. Even when you know it's not good, even when you know it's not meant for you, and you're hanging on to this, you're clinging to this. And what I'm getting here is that I'm hearing that somebody may have taken something from you in the past and you felt like it was your own fault. So you've been clinging to things. You've been hanging on to trying to control situations. Yeah, I feel like in the past, whatever you've been dealing with was hurtful. It was kind of difficult. It was challenging. It was painful. And it was somebody else's, I'm getting like you felt like you were not appreciated, manipulated, misused, stepped on. And it became something where you felt like you had to win. And that's not you. That's definitely not your normal energy. Who you are at your base core is peace. Okay? You're fine. You like people. You like the world. You love life. But you have not been feeling that way for a very long time. And it got to the point where you started feeling like you had to get one up on the person who was always putting you down, always challenging you, whether it was work, family, friends, neighbors, whatever the situation you were dealing with. It was challenging. Somebody really took their toll on you. And you changed who you were in a negative way, possibly. Snarkiness, having to win the argument. That's not your normal MO. And that's why Spirit's saying, this is not meant for you. This is not. Okay? And whatever it was, whatever that catalyst was, and I do feel like there was a catalyst that's going to happen currently, right now, today, or tomorrow, or maybe it happened yesterday. But before you get to this reading, there's been something that has happened, okay? A challenge, an argument, somebody putting you down. And finally, it's like the light bulb goes off. When you finally surrender and you say, I'm just going to focus on me. I'm going to just be in the moment right here, right now. That's when you find your peace. Interesting message here. Let's see what we've got. We have the 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Is this Cups or Pentacles? I had to check. That's Cups. That's Cups. See, your ultimate long-term happiness depends on you realizing that what you've been dealing with, what you've been hanging on to, what you've been clinging to has changed you, and you were not headed for your long-term happiness. You were not headed for the sunset that when at the end of your days you're going to be like, oh, I'm so happy I did this. You were not heading there. You are now, because you got yourself in alignment again. You're going to rediscover who you are, what you truly want, what makes you truly happy. You're not buying into, oh, well, I'm supposed to stay married, because married couples are supposed to sacrifice for each other forever and ever, and they're supposed to, they can treat you any way they want, or it's a sin to get a divorce, or whatever's belief, okay? For whatever reason, you clung to this. Again, it could have been your personality, who you were at your core, not your core, on the surface was changed enough that you became somebody other than who you really are. And when you get so far away from who you really are, there has to be a break. There has to be a setting of a reset. Okay, so it's kind of like, you're here. This is who you are. This is how you were born. You're good. You're whole. You're healthy. And then as life goes on, we have things that happen that swing the pendulum this way. And then that swings this way. This situation that you have been in has been going up and up and up. And it's been leaning way too far on the negative side. And what happens? It's going to swing back the other way. And that's going to create this situation. Okay, awareness, awake, clarity and understanding that you've been clinging to something. Now you can't stop that motion right away. It's going to keep going and it's going to end up over here, but it's not going to be at that ultimate. Okay, it's a little less. And what happens is a spirit, as soon as you get in alignment, spirit stops that pendulum from swinging extremes. Okay, spirit will, when you get yourself in alignment, spirit comes in and says, nope, we're not going to go too far this way. Nope, we're not going to go too far this way. We can find peace. We can find our center. We can find where that pendulum hangs straight up and down, and we're okay. All right. And now at that moment, you can decide what really is going on with you. What's happening, why you've been the way you've been, what you want. to achieve with your life. Okay? Beautiful message here. If it's resonating with you, if this is making sense to you, if you feel like this is coming to you, or maybe because time and tarot are fluid, this could have already happened for some of you. I want you to keep in mind something. Think about this. If this message was exactly the same for every single person that's hearing this message, okay, and I mean like exactly the same, like the situation, it's a romantic situation. We're exactly the same for every single person hearing this message. Wouldn't the world be a really weird place to be? Think about that, okay? So it's going to be a little bit different. Maybe this has happened to you already. I mean, if this is all happening for everybody on the same day, same time, I have stopped and thought about that, and I'm like, no, that's not even funny. I mean, that would be a weird world to live in. So again, this may have happened years in the past for some of you. This may happen years in the future for some of you. But I'm getting that most of you will be waking up to this change now, okay? But again, it can be a different situation. It's not always going to be an argument with your spouse. It might be an argument or a disagreement with a family member, a friend, a job, a gas station attendant. There's something that you've been hanging on to that you're going to be releasing. It could be a belief system. Let's see what else is going to come out here for you. Oh, look at that. Yeah, we've got the Chariot here. A big change. A course correction. A peaceful one, though. This is not like a fast-moving chariot. This is one that's sitting still, contemplating, seeking information, seeking direction from your higher power. There's peace here. Yeah, there's no right, there's no wrong. This is the pendulum at its center, where it's at rest before you start swinging the pendulum again. Through the decisions that you're making, through the choices that you're opting for. All right, so there's going to be this time of contemplation, of peace, of seeking spiritual direction. This is you finding it within yourself. This is definitely a reset, a recentering. I'm hearing finding it within yourself, finding the answers within yourself before you move forward, before you go anywhere. Deep introspection. Reset, okay? You have to know what you want, what does make you happy, and that may take a little bit of time is what I'm hearing. Okay, so some of you thought, getting married, having 2 kids and 2 cars and 2.2 cats, you come home with that 3-legged cat. And now you're like, wait a minute. I really wanted to travel the world. Okay. Yes, if you have kids, you take care of your kids, but now they may be at a point, and this may be what's happening here, is they're old enough that they're not in the house anymore. They're responsible for themselves. And you've been clinging to something here that just isn't what you want. So again, it doesn't even have to be like an argument with somebody that was the catalyst. It could have been a dream. It could have been a show, a book, a word, something that just woke you up to the fact that you've been hanging on to something that doesn't make you happy anymore. You've been clinging to this. All right, so this is the reset. This is you rediscovering what it is you do want here. There's the moon. This feels beautiful. This, I'm getting an image of like being rocked, like caressed and cradled and comforted. Protection here, divine protection. Normally with the moon card, there's a path. There's a path that becomes very clear. Now, this might be a path here, but it's not clear. But there is balance here. That's what I'm noticing straight away. There's definite like mirroring image. Whatever energy you're giving, you're going to be receiving. So I'm feeling very neutral again, very comforted in the fact that you can breathe, that you don't have to cling to this thing anymore, that you can release it, let it go, and decide for yourself what direction you're going to go in. You don't have the answer yet. And that's okay. You're okay with that energy. You're okay with sitting in the moments. And those moments might turn into hours, days, weeks, months, where you don't make any major decisions in life. Maybe you just, you're sitting. Oh, I'm hearing a song. Okay. You're sitting still in the moment. You're just existing, but not in a negative way, okay? You're existing because it's peaceful there. It's a healing space. It's a calming, protective space. And you may need that after this big, huge type of change that's coming in here for you. Let's see what else just came out here. Look at this, the Three of Cups, celebrations, happiness, joy, connections with other people, within yourself, the triad there, the Trinity, mind, body, spirit. There are celebrations here. There will be new friends, new opportunities, new places to go that make you feel good. New beliefs, okay? I'm also hearing here that, this is kind of weird, somebody out there believes that it's so important to have like a girl group, a guy group, those people that you're always with. You can, like, you feel like you're supposed to always be able to count on them. But you've come to the realization here that that's not been working. And you've been asking yourself, why am I still clinging to these people? Why am I still clinging to this group? Something has happened here, and it's not one thing. I'm getting like there were multiple things that have happened, and like people's egos were starting to interfere with what was real, like why you came together in the first place. All right. You're coming to the realization here, if that was you, and again, that's not for everybody, but if that was you, you are waking up to the fact that you don't need a bunch of people around you as friend group, okay? It's actually, you may even decide right now for the next 6 months or a year, I just want to be me. I want to be on my own. I want to recenter myself. I don't want to be responsible for a relationship with anybody. And that's okay as long as you don't stay there forever. All right, so that's kind of different coming through there. So I do see those of you who may say, you know what, I see friendship. I see friendship in a different way. I don't see it the same as I used to. Like I have to have a best friend. I have to have that girls group. I have to have that boys group, guys group, whatever you want to call it. And think about that. It came out as boys and girls, not men and women. It came out as a boys group or a girls group. Immaturity, okay? Not adult energy. So seeing friendships and relationships and such in a different light, that actually feels better. It feels more complete. So like when you get together with people, you're fine with just getting together with them for now, for that moment. And it's okay if you don't see them for a week or whatever, you know. There's definitely a different energy surrounding you. All right, let's see what else we have coming out here for you. What else is there to this message, please, Spirit? Look at that. The Lover's card here. And I love the Lover's card because it talks about seeing eye to eye, alignment, having the divine protection here. You know, being able to be who you are and allowing the other person to be who they are. The balance of thoughts, beliefs, individuality. That's what's coming through here, is the connection without the dependency. Being able to be yourself, being able to enjoy life and do the things you like. And, you know, you're okay with that, and somebody else is okay with how it just feels right. There's a maturity here that kind of feels like it was missing from the other relationship, the other situation, whatever change, you know, you've gone through, whatever you were experiencing, that had an element of self-centeredness, immaturity, codependency. And, you know, we can all go through those things. We can all experience those types of situations, relationships, or whatever, and not even realize we are in them fully. Maybe sometimes we do realize it. We see the red flags, we ignore them. But sometimes we just kind of don't. Until all of a sudden we have that energy of, wow, why was I hanging on to this? Okay, we all go through that energy too. So there is balance, there is peace, there is protection here. There's no more codependency, it's more autonomy. And you're okay with who you are, and you see people differently now. And you can see where some people, and this is probably who you were dealing with, they just kind of didn't really consider anything but themselves. Like you didn't even realize that you were offering everything up and they weren't giving, because that's who you are. And then all of a sudden you're aware now, like, they really weren't putting in anything. They weren't protective. They weren't balanced. They weren't autonomous. All right, let's see what else is going to come out here in this message for you. Two of Pentacles, balance. I'm hearing something was hanging in the balance for quite a while. And we have double twos here. So you have the Two of Swords here, and now you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I felt like I'm hearing things felt like they are hanging in the balance right now. So some of you are possibly going to make another decision. Okay, like you've already gone through and processed all this. You see relationships differently. You're okay with sitting still. Something may be hanging in the balance, whatever it is, okay? You are just going to let it be. I'm also hearing some days you may feel more balanced than others. Like this could affect you for quite a while, where one day you feel like, oh, I'm fine by myself, I'm okay. And then the next you're like, but I don't have anyone around me anymore. I feel so lonely. Spirit wants you to ask this question. Are you lonely, or are you just alone? Okay. Being alone There's nothing wrong with that, okay? As long as you can make yourself happy and be at peace in that alone time. When we have to have people in our life, like romantic partners, or we had to have that friend in our life, that's codependency. We don't want that energy. We want to be able to be okay with our own energy, with who we are. And that's what you're allowing here. You're allowing yourself to say, okay, I'm fine today, and things are good, and I understand tomorrow might not be so easy, but you're asking yourself, can I be alone with myself? Can I be balanced in who I am without having to have that group around me, without having that belief system so deeply embedded in me that you feel challenged by it? All right, so that's good energy there. You're aware that it's not going to be a perfect day every day. So you're willing to sit with what energies come up. So if you feel lonely, you're asking yourself, am I really lonely, or am I just alone right now? What can I be doing that will make me feel happy in the moment? Do that. And doing that type of thing will actually lead to your healing from whatever's going on much, much quicker. All right. I do feel like new things are going to come to you pretty quick, though. There could be a new support group, somebody who, just even one person that's just around you, and they're like, I get you, and you get them, but you don't have to be around them all the time either, okay? Beautiful energy. Seven of Swords. You're planning, you're strategizing, and look, you've got the Chariot card here, which is card number 7 in the tarot deck, and then you've got this 7 here of the Seven of Swords. I'm also, with this card, this is avoiding, not in a negative way, not avoiding, eliminating distractions, okay? Getting rid of the drama, leaving it to alignment here. What's the facts, ma'am? Okay, you've got 2 swords pointing down, and in my readings, anytime a sword is facing down, it means that the truth has been acknowledged. It's been spoken, and it's been acknowledged. Now, you are here taking these other things out of the picture, okay? You're removing the distractions. You're dealing with yourself and your alignment. 2s are about alignment. I'm also getting leveling the playing field, okay? So if there is a situation brewing here, you are removing the things that used to distract you. So if somebody is coming towards you and they're like ready to go to war with you, go toe to toe with you, they want their way, and that's all that they're going to, hear or listen to, you are removing all of those things that used to be distractions. Okay. Yeah, we won't go too far into that. But you're removing those distractions. You're not going to allow those things to hurt you, to affect you, to alter your stability, to alter your new self-perception here, your balance, okay? And I'm also hearing, this is just like removing the drama from your life. If somebody wants to go toe-to-toe with you, an ex-husband, ex-wife, a neighbor who's just, blows up at everything, you are not letting the drama in, okay? As soon as you see your neighbor come storming out of the house and they're going to engage in an argument with you, you just turn around. You don't even wave. You don't do anything. You turn around and go in your house. Done. There's nothing there. You're removing the distraction. If you have to have a conversation with a child or somebody else, an ex, and when I mean have to have that conversation. I'm talking about being in court, or, the decision has to be made. You're choosing not to let their tactics create distractions within you. So you know that they're going to say things like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not smart enough to handle that. Who do you think you are? You're just going to remove those things. You're going to let those fly right by you. You're not going to pay any attention when they say those things, because you know that that's their MO. That's their mode of operandi. That's them and who they are and how they have always gotten what they wanted from you. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We don't want to go too deep down that rabbit hole, okay? You're removing the distractions, keeping your equilibrium. You don't want that pendulum swinging too far either way, because it just creates chaos, okay? Highs and lows, manic energies of ups and downs. You want to be more in the middle, more balanced. All right, what else have we got? Look at this. We've got justice. We've got the ultimate balance here. All right, so whatever is meant to be for you will be there for you in the right form, in the right energy. And again, I kept hearing divorce. I don't like talking about that, but it happens. Or court cases or anything else, child custody, whatever, okay? Justice is going to be served here. So taking yourself out of this situation, okay? Why am I clinging to this? Why am I fighting for this? When it doesn't work, they don't want to put the energy in. I don't even believe in this anymore, whether it's a relationship or a thought or whatever it is. Why? You're asking yourself why. And then all of a sudden, all you do is relax and get into alignment. All right? Justice will come to you. Peace comes to you. Harmony comes to you. Anything that was not right, that was not meant for you, whatever you were clinging to, is going to be made right and just. And you're going to feel those harmonic resonance throughout your whole being, okay? You'll feel the peace. You'll feel the protection. You'll feel that you're on the right path. This is a beautiful, beautiful message. I hope that if you've been going through a challenging situation in your life, and I don't know why, but I keep seeing somebody's name. I don't want to call you out, but I think you know who you are. You just recently posted on my page, in my comments, saying that you haven't been here in a while because you were dealing with life. You were dealing with a difficult situation. Last name starts with an S, okay? Anyways, I feel like this may be your message in particular. Like, you really are resonating with this. All right, let's go ahead and see what the final message here is, and we'll get you a little bit more information. All right, you have the Four of Swords. Absolution, release, peace, prayers being answered, letting go, release. Oh my goodness. This feels fantastic. This is where you're headed. This is where you're at. This is where you're going. The energy of justice brings that sense of holiday energy, getting away, feeling renewed, refreshed, less burdened. This is being put to rest. Whatever you're dealing with is being put to rest for good. It's like, this is no longer going to disrupt my life. I have made peace with this. I've made peace with the situation, my own energy towards the situation, why I did what I did, why they did what they did. It's all done. I'm making peace with it. My focus is the future, the here and the now, being right here, right now. Look at this. What's on the bottom of the deck? The Wheel of Fortune. A new destiny. Okay. You were meant to come across this. You were meant to let this go. That's the Ten of Swords there. Six of Wands, the victory. The Six of Swords, moving away into the unknown. But look, you have knowledge of what's there in front of you. So it's not completely scary or unknown. And you've got the Sun. Oh my goodness. Look at this outcome here for you. The Wheel of Fortune. Moving past the Ten of Swords. Victory. Success. Overcoming all difficult challenges. This 10, the Ten of Swords here, put to rest. Done. All those hurtful words, they've been taken, processed, dealt with. We've got justice right behind that. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. We've got the Lovers touching this too. This is important for you to understand that these things will diminish for you. The hurtful words, the backstabbing, the betrayals, you will remember them, but you will only remember them in a painful way for a while. And then things come into balance and you're like, oh, well, that's life. I hung on to this. I clung to this. I'm just as much whatever. And now I can just let this go. Your balance is being restored. You're successfully overcoming this. There's elevation here. Oops, we had the Sun card there. I wanted to make sure that went out. Oh my gosh, look what else you have here. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Knight of Cups. You have the Nine of Pentacles and the Sun card here. So that's why it got put back in. Okay. That is beautiful. Success, okay? That's Six of Wands. You've achieved your goal, okay? Happiness within yourself. You've got good sense of who you are, achieving your goals, crossing finish lines. I am also hearing something new. New friends, new relationships, new understandings of relationships. All right, so there could be an apology come to you, but I'm also getting with this Knight of Cups, and for me, usually even more so over an apology, that doesn't usually come out. What this represents is self-love, self-care, taking care of yourself. But there could be an offer coming in to you soon, okay? And you're free to decide what you want to do. You don't have to count on anyone else, right? Because you've gained the wisdom from the experiences. You've overcome the challenges, and now you have complete understanding. I do see a change in your destiny coming up very soon. So even if you are, we don't have the Hermit here, so I don't see you being completely isolated from people. I do see you pulling back from the groups, the communities that maybe you were in, from a situation you were in, a belief system that you were involved in. You're walking away from that. You're choosing not to participate in those things anymore. You're finding peace. You're finding center. You're finding who you are. You're rediscovering yourself. And you're okay with sitting still while you do that. Now, I do see friends, new people coming in here for you, new types of relationships that are healthier, less codependent. I see justice being served here. So there could definitely, we have the Lovers card right here in the center of your whole reading too. And that tells me that this could be a new cycle in romance, in your relationships. One where you have much more autonomy, a sense of freedom of knowing who you are, that you can stand on your own 2 feet and still have enough to offer others. Okay? You're not taking from others. They're not giving everything to you. You're not giving everything to them. It's a good balance here. And you've got a great future ahead of you with clarity, understanding, happiness. With the Sun card, this is joy. This is that joy that we feel when no responsibilities on our shoulders, no hurt is in our awareness at the time. The sun's out and we're just absorbing the sun rays on our face and we feel good. That's what this is. And this is your outcome here. This is a beautiful message. I absolutely love this. I'm not totally familiar with this deck yet, so I do want to consult the book because I feel like there's something in there that somebody has to hear. So let's see what this is. It looks like there's only one other card after this, so this tells me you are very close to the end of this. All right, it says, no matter how well you plan, there is always going to be room for the unexpected to occur. Build your resilience as rare occurrences can and are about to happen for you. A visitor you have not seen in a long time may re-enter your life. Now, you know what I heard? That visitor is you. Coming back to you. However, this could be a long lost friend. I'm getting, though, this is all about you. That this is you rediscovering you. Now, we do have new people coming in here. So these new people could be people who have gone through their own things, their own traumas, their own situations. And now they are the same person, but they're a different person. Okay, so it could be Susie or Joe, and then now they're adults and they've lived a life and they have different outtakes, so they're not the same Susie and they're not the same Joe. Okay, so the same but different. All right, let's see what else we have here from this. The energy and the power of the blue... Oh, this is the blue moon. Okay, of the blue moon can be best taken advantage of by setting intentions on these moons of things that you really want, but have never felt could happen. Your happiness. Okay, you gave up your sense of what you wanted to cling to something that wasn't for you anymore. It just isn't going to last. It didn't last. It's time for that change. All right, so we may be referring to big wishes, the almost miracle stuff we would be both delighted and surprised about if those things were to manifest. After setting blue moon intentions, though, don't sit there hoping it will just happen. Be in the moment, okay? And if need be, try to take clear, practical steps towards whatever is happening in your life. So if you want a change in friendships, if you want a change in perspective, how can you do that? What can you do? It doesn't mean you've got to go out and find a new relationship. It doesn't mean you've got to do physically. It can be just a change in perspective. Some of us love surprises and some of us don't. But I don't think anyone can go through life without sometimes having the unexpected happen to them. It's going to happen to all of us. While some professions in particular, such as the military and medicine, try to plan for everything that could go wrong, life sometimes finds a way to outsmart even the most thorough of plans. In fact, the more plans, the more rigid you are, the more strict and controlling the energy is around a subject, the more likely it is to fall apart. All right, this is simply life. Although it is important for us to know where, how, and why we are traveling down a particular path, we may Also, always make room for and expect the unexpected. All right, so if you are looking for a talisman to help you get through this, you may want to consider benitoite, a very rare blue gem, okay? And that is spelled Benitoite, okay? I'm not even going to try to say it again because I can't right now. All right, I'm going to leave it here because that's a very long message for you. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to get you an angel number. Let's see what look at this. Abundance and eights. Eights are all about the self and balance within yourself. All right, so I'm getting 3 areas of your life where things are going to fall into balance within you. It's almost like the pendulum, okay? You're the center, and now it's not swinging too far either way. Blessings are here and more are on their way. Let yourself feel the abundant flow of prosperity that is all around you at all times. As you stand in alignment with your highest self, you attract everything that you were once looking for. Giving is always the door to success. And I'm hearing that as in giving weight to our desires. Not the giving of our time and our energy to things that don't serve us. This is giving in gratitude. Okay, so there's something about giving gratitude. All right, so it says here, the more good I do in the world, the more abundant my life grows. I radiate an energy of love and kindness. Now, I am hearing somebody saying, but I gave and I gave and I gave. Yes, you gave a little too much. Very few people can appreciate when somebody just does it, okay? They start taking things for granted. And I feel like that may be what happened in your particular case. All right, my loves. Until our energy crosses again, I'm going to wish you much peace, love, and happiness. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.